Hello again, everybody. I'm Chris. I'm all set to count down the 40 most played country songs in the nation, according to Mediabase 24/7 for the week ending June 14th, 2025. Before I get started counting down this week's biggest hits, let's take a look back at last week's top three. At number 3 was Worst Way by Riley Green. Number 2 was I'm the Problem by Morgan Wallen. And the number 1 song last week was Whiskey Drink by Jason Aldean. Now, can Jason stay at number 1 for a second week? Let's find out 39 hits from now. We'll get started with the latest by Miranda Lambert as she falls 3 spots to number 40 with Run. Up a notch to number 39, here's Megan Maroney and Kenny Chesney with You Had to Be There. Up 1 to number 38, it's Sam Barber and Avriana with Indigo. At number 37, up a notch, here's Chase Matthew with Darlin'. At number 36 for the 4th week, it's Warren Ziders with Relapse. Slipping a notch to number 35, it's Megan Patrick with Golden Child. Up 1 to number 34, Party with Favorite Country Song. Slipping 2 spots to 33, here's Ernest with Would If I Could. In at number 32 for the 2nd week, here's Parmalee with Cowgirl. And we have one debut on the chart this week, and here it is, climbing in at number 31. It's a follow-up to her number 1 hit from back in February called 4x4 by You. Here's Lainey Wilson with Somewhere Over Laredo. And with that one debut, we say goodbye to one dropper, and that's Truck on Fire by Carly Pearce. On with the countdown, here's newcomer Hudson Westbrook in his 4th week in the countdown, climbing 3 to number 30 with House Again. At number 29, up a notch, George Burns and It Won't Be Long. At number 28, moving up 1, it's Scotty McCreery and Hootie and the Blowfish with Bottle Rockets. At number 27 for a 2nd week, Dierks Bentley with She Hates Me. Up 2 to number 26, Tucker Wetmore with 3, 2, 1. In their 18th week in the countdown, they climb 1 to number 25, Rascal Flatts and the Jonas Brothers with I Dare You. Slipping back 1 to number 24, it's Parker McCollum with What Kind of Man. At number 23, moving up 2, it's Jelly Roll with Heart of Stone. Up 2 to number 22, here's Keith Urban with Straight Line. At number 21, moving up 1, Jordan Davis with Bar None. In his 27th week in the countdown, he climbs 1 to number 20, Jackson Dean and Heavens to Betsy. Up 1 to number 19, Eric Church with Hands of Time. At number 18, moving up, Russell Dickerson with Happened to Me. At number 17, up 1, it's John Party and Friday Night Heartbreaker. Sitting at number 16, 3 weeks in a row, it's Shabuzi with Good News. And at number 15, for a 2nd week, Bailey Zimmerman and Luke Combs with Backup Plan. At number 14, for a 2nd week, it's Luke Bryan and Country Song Came On. It's been on the countdown for 20 weeks now. Up 1 to number 13, it's Thomas Rhett with After All the Bars Were Closed. At number 12 and holding, here's Tyler Hubbard with Park. And sitting at number 11 for the 2nd week, here's Morgan Wallen and Just In Case. Alright, leading off the top 10 this week, Josh Ross as he slips a notch to number 10 with Single Again. Trading places with Josh, climbing 1 to number 9, it's Nate Smith with Fix What You Didn't Break. And at number 8 for the 3rd week, Sam Hunt with Country House. At number 7 and falling, it's last week's number 1 song, Jason Aldean and Whiskey Drink. In at number 6, up a notch, here's Ella Langley with Work for the Wind. In at number 5 for the 5th week, it's Kane Brown with Backseat Driver. Up 2 spots to number 4, it's Corey Kent and This Heart. Easing down a notch to number 3 with his former number 1 hit, Morgan Wallen and I'm the Problem. Trading places with Morgan, climbing 1 this week up to number 2. It's Riley Green with Worst Way. And the number 1 song in country music this week, it took 29 weeks to get here. This climbs 3 spots from number 4 to number 1, giving her her 2nd number 1 country hit. It's the title track to her current album called Am I Okay? And that is Megan Maroney. And that is our countdown of the 40 most played country hits this week. Join me again next week. Once again, we'll count them down and find out who's got the number 1 country hit in North America. Thanks for listening.